Well, hello, Brittany Parker, Seint Artist. I am going to put my makeup on for you today. It's been a long day. I've done nothing. Yesterday we had opening and I have been wiped out. I mean, I slept in, not crazy, but I slept in. I took a nap. I don't even know what time it is. I don't know, but let's do our makeup. Okay. So today I'm gonna use a couple of my brushes and my palettes, and I'm gonna do what I normally do, okay? I don't usually do like the cheetah hack on my day-to-day, especially like when I just need to get ready. So this is my palette. This is Seint Makeup, and Seint Makeup is a cream foundation that's fantastic for your skin. Not only does it only have 11 ingredients, so it's super clean. Just seriously, go look at what your foundation is. And if that's what you love, cool. I mean, whatever, right? But I love that it only has 11 ingredients. It is like a second skin. It feels so good. And I do have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles, and it's just, I've lost some weight, getting older. And so those things are starting to get way more important to me. I don't want makeup just sitting in those lines and caking. And here's the cool thing about Seint Makeup. It is a lot more pigmented than normal foundation. I mean like way more, like 80%, let me show you, 80% pigment, whereas a normal liquid foundation is like 18% pigment. That's a huge difference from 80 to 18. And so you need less product. That's one reason why you don't have it sitting in your lines. And if you do, if you're using Seint Makeup and you're like, this is totally sitting in my lines, you're using too much. And that's a really easy, I still do that. I mean, I'm newer to using the makeup. I've watched it forever. But that's something I'm still learning and still trying to figure out. Less is more. It is totally buildable. So the more color you want, the more coverage you want, you can do. But especially in our problem areas, like underneath our eyes where it is so thin, our skin is so thin, less is more. Okay. And then there's tips and tricks to do to help color correct those areas and things that you might have. And I can help you, okay? So Seint Makeup is made out of these tins, and usually you think of your foundation as just one solid color, okay? Our faces have natural dimension, natural shadows. Do you see that? That's a natural shadow. Brightness and darkness. And so cream makeup, this Seint Makeup, mimics that and enhances our natural dimension so that we're not just putting one flat color on and then trying to add color on top of it. What happens is you're adding layer upon layer upon layer, and the color that you're putting on top of the one color, it's not the same color because it has another color underneath it. And so you will see that as I apply this, it's like a paint by number, and I'm putting colors in special areas, and then I'm blending, and it's making a one layer foundation. Okay, and so you have your two highlights. One is like your foundation, that's your main highlight, and one is like your concealer, that's your brightening highlight, and you have your contour. This is all your foundation. It counts as all your foundation. The contour, yes, and even the lip and cheek. All of these have foundational coverage in them, okay? So they will cover things that you have on your face. So this, if you wanna start basic, you could get a 4. This is a palette, just like my palette. You can see the size difference. This is double decker. This just has one. And you would get your 2 highlights, your contour, and a lip and cheek. I think though that you need at least 6. Just my opinion. You totally need a bronzer. Not one day have I gone without a bronzer. This one doesn't have foundational coverage, but it gives you an amazing warmth and glow. I will show you. And then there's also illuminator, which also isn't coverage, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The very first thing you should do is color correct. And so that's what I'm gonna do. And most days, or some days, not most, some days I don't have to do it at all. Some days I do. You know how some days you're more red. So I just have a lot of, look at all these just like spots and things. I'm gonna try to color correct first before I put my makeup on, just to try to help me even out my skin tone. But I'm actually going to start with Frenchie. Frenchie is a lip and cheek, a beautiful lip and cheek. I love it. And it's called lip and cheek because it's a blush, lipstick, even an eyeshadow. And Frenchie is even a color corrector. Now, when you color correct underneath your eyes, because I have some darkness, look at that. Less is more. Seriously. Remember, we don't want to put a lot of product under because that's where all the lines are, our wrinkles. So just with my pinky, because I really want a soft touch, just kind of putting just a little bit in there. See how I just have a little bit? And I'm not putting it over my entire under eye. I'm going right in those darkest areas. And with a very soft finger, I'm just kind of blending it out now. But I just put it right where that trough is. I mean, what a horrible word. But that's where I'm putting it. And now, yes, it's pink. But you will see that when I go to put my Brightener Highlight on, it's going to be so much better. So like I said, I'm not putting it over, like, I'm not just swiping it underneath. I'm going just in those darker areas. First completed week of time change. And girl, I'm feeling it. I'm tired. All right, so just a little. And that's it. So that's my color correcting. I look crazy. That's okay. For my under eyes. I'm also, though, going to color correct some of this redness and discoloration I have on my cheeks. And I'm actually going to use a contour, okay? It's the lightest contour that we have. It's called Aspen. And if anybody has rosacea, a lot of redness, this is going to be your best friend. People can put this on just as like a little coverage on those days that they don't want a full face, and it will cover your redness. It's beautiful. And so here's all my contours that I have. These are not for my face. This is like my artist palette. But this is the lightest one. And I'm going to tap. I'm just going to use my detail brush. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. Okay. And just where I'm red here, I'm just going to kind of softly put a little coverage. And what it does is just canceling out that redness. Okay. Just softly. Now, we're all human. We all have pores. We all have texture. That's our skin. That's skin, people. There is no magic, and I don't care what, different people or makeup says. There is no magic to completely change your face unless you're putting an entire huge mask on. But you can see how just putting a little bit of that Aspen on, I mean, I'm putting very little product. I'm just kind of feathering it. It is taking away that redness. Magic. And I don't have tons of redness, but if you do, this can be your best friend. And I do have some little spots, red spots on my nose. And I'm putting, I wish you could see how little I'm putting on. It's just very little. And I'm just using that to help cover some of that redness. The spot that's just bugging me. Okay. One more right here. So I have those little, but so much better. I still look crazy with my under eyes. But a lot of the redness is gone, and I at least have kind of created a little base for when I put like my makeup on, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start with my detail brush. I love the detail brush. It has this oblong oval kind of shape and then a smaller shape. So this is perfect for applying the creams. I love it. It sits right underneath your cheekbone. See how I already have that shadow there? That's where I'm gonna put my contour. So your shadows are an ashier, darker color, and it's mimicking a shadow, okay? It is a thicker consistency, and it's supposed to be, because we don't want our shadows moving all over the place, right? And so our contour is gonna go on the outsides of our faces here, the outside of our forehead. See how we have shadows down our nose? So you could put shadows here, your contour. Underneath the lip, I have a shadow, and my jawline. And that can also help tighten and give you more of a straighter jawline, okay? So that's where I'm gonna start. I like to start with my contour. So first, color correct, done. Second, I like to contour. So my contour is olive, and I actually wear two different. I could wear olive or indigo. I tried indigo once and it scared me. I think when I'm a little bit darker in the summer, I might go towards that. But for right now, since I'm not tan, contour or olive is my color, okay? So when I go in there, I'm just tapping. I'm not like scraping out the product. Like I said, it's a lot more pigmented. I don't need that much, okay? So I got some on my brush, start at the top of my ears, and I just go down. So you could even feel the bottom of your cheekbone, and that's where it's gonna go, okay? So top of my ear here, there. I don't wanna go further in than the outside of my eye. I don't want it in my smile lines, okay? So I'm trying to keep it out there. And when you blend this, you don't have to blend it now, but it goes up, okay? So you wanna blend it up. So there, I've created the shadow. Some people are really scared of the contour. Please don't be. It's magic. It is part of the foundation. It really is part of the foundation, part of the whole 3D cream foundation system that Seint is. It really is part of it and is so important. And I feel like when people at first are so scared to try it, and so they don't, but then when they do, they're like, oh my gosh, why have I not been doing this? And you don't have to go crazy. This can be as natural as you want, as glam as you want. That's what's cool about Seint. It's customizable to you. Okay, so I'm just bringing it into my hairline. We don't want to mask, just kind of help blending it out. So I'm actually kind of doing a 3 here, and then I'll come down my jawline. So that's what you could help think of, okay? So the top of your forehead, to the bottom of your cheekbones, to your jawline. So it's a 3, and you're gonna do it on both sides, okay? Oh, my jawline, let's get it done. So you can kind of bring it right here in front of your ear a little bit, and then down your jawline. Okay. And then this is your one spot that you really do blend it down, because this is where our shadow is, right? Underneath our neck, or our chin, excuse me. And so we're just mimicking that shadow that's already there. And there we go. So the cool thing about this brush is it is oblong, and so I use the end or the side of it, and I'm almost just stamping it. Stamp on my nose, okay? And I can go up and down, and I'm just bringing a contour line on the sides of my nose. And with the bottom part, it's kind of more curved, bring it up into your brow bone, okay? On your other side, stamp, kind of go up and down, and bring it up, okay? And that's it, nothing crazy. I do the bottom of my lip. I mean, we all could use, well, I could use help with the bigger lips. All right, so I have created all of my shadows that I want, okay? So on my forehead, my cheekbones, my jawline, my nose, and my lip, okay? Now, I'm gonna go to my next paint by number, which is my main highlight. Right now I'm using Candlelit, and I'm gonna use, I'm really liking my buff brush lately. I don't know. I go back and forth like what my favorite brush is. The buff brush I love because it's a little bit more of a fuller coverage. And I'm just liking that look lately. So I'm gonna use the smaller end. I'm gonna dip into Candlelit, and I'm gonna bring it on my jawline here. Okay. Now my main highlight is the one that's like what you would think of as your foundation. So it's gonna be closest to my skin color, my skin. And that's why sometimes you can't even see it, okay? So I'm just bringing it on the bottom of my chin, kind of right here, along that jawline. Now I'm making sure, since I color corrected, I don't wanna go and swipe in big old circles. I wanna make sure that I pounce so that I'm not moving that color that is hiding or color correcting my issues. And so I'm pouncing my product on. I'm gonna come on the sides of my nose here. Same thing right here. I like to color correct, or just kind of cover right there, sides of my nose again. And I'm leaving underneath my eyes. I left the middle right here and right here on my chin. I'm leaving all those open, even right here on my forehead, because that's where my paint by number, my Brightener highlight goes. I do though put a little bit of my main highlight underneath my contour, but I left right there at the center of my forehead open. So you can see right now I look like a crazy clown. Trust the process. Okay, I know I look crazy. It's okay, because I know how good it looks when it's done. All right, so I have 2 things on. I have my main highlight, my contour. I even have my color correcting, okay? And the next step is my brightener highlight. So I'm actually gonna go back to my detail brush because I really like that smaller end. It helps to kind of get the product in. And I'm using white peach right now. And so I just stipple in. Okay, so the kind of fat part of your chin right there, I'm gonna bring some right there. Your Cupid's bow. I'm gonna use my finger to go down my nose. Okay, right there, the forehead, my mid-brow where I missed all those, or all that area right there. Okay, and I'm blending it up. And now my under eyes. Now remember, I put that crazy pink. Okay, that's why I'm looking like a scary skeleton right now. I'm gonna be really careful. I just went tap a little bit of product, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm just tapping on right on top of that area. Okay, I'm not even bringing tons of product right here, the softest spot where I have it, right here in the inner corner. Like I said, I'm just barely tapping. I'm not getting any more product. Go right here. Watch this. I barely put any product on my brush. Look at that. You tell me. I mean, wow. I love this. Cream. This is Seint, okay? Just a really soft hand though. I did not need tons. So watch. Tap, tap, tap. A little bit. Okay, and remember, I'm just stippling. So that inside corner, I'm just bringing it over the top. Okay, underneath. I want to make sure that I don't just stop right here at my bag. I need to bring it a little bit below underneath that trough. What a horrible word, I'm sorry. Okay, my outside corner and whatever's left on my brush. I really don't have much on my brush. I love it. All right, just kind of blending it out. Now, like I said, I still have my fine lines, my wrinkles, my bags, but I feel like it helps so much. I don't know. I think it helps. All right, blending time. My B squared blush and bronzer brush. I love this one. This one's my very favorite brush to blend. So I said this brush is my favorite to apply. This is the detail because it helps me apply the creams. But this brush, the B squared brush, helps me to blend. I really like both of the ends. And if you want a really natural look, a airbrush finish, use this softer side. And then for a medium coverage, you'd use this side. But I always like to start with this medium side just to help move the product. And the cool thing is I have kind of drier skin. And because I put the creams and they've been sitting on my face has warmed them up. And so that's gonna make them blend so much easier. Now remember, I carefully put the makeup on, so I'm just barely softly tapping just to make sure I blend all the different colors together. My contour up, and if you watch, I did all my lighter areas first. I'm not blending it all together. I want that 3D, that dimension that I created, I want that to stay. So I'm not gonna over blend. And that's like a big problem, I think, when you're first learning how to use it. You over blend and you don't want to. You want that dimension that we created to stay. Okay, so up, up, up. Now this is kind of my problem area. You can still see it a little bit, but I feel like it's not as bad as it was. Okay, my nose, I have it in lines. So I'm gonna go up and down. You could even use your finger to help blend it out. But voila. Okay, you know what I always forget? My contour on my neck. I always forget to like go out and blend that because I don't see it. But I remember today. Proud of me. Okay, so I could just stop here. Like, this is just my face. I have my foundation on, my contour, my brightening, my main highlight, and I could stop right here. But you know what I love? My bronzer, okay? Every girl needs a bronzer. I'm sorry, if you didn't buy a bronzer, go and get it. It is so good. It is so good. Okay, so this is my bronzer. And springtime bronzer is probably the most important because we're gonna start to tan and we're gonna start to get darker, and your bronzer is gonna help you transition until you need to get a summer color match. And so if you send me a color match photo in the winter, when you notice that your colors all of a sudden are looking off, you see a lot more texture, you think it's just too light, send me a new color match. Same thing if you're gonna go tanning. When you get to the depthness, the darkness that you want, send me a new color match photo and I would totally be happy to tell you what you need. A lot of the times you'll just need 110. For me, I just needed 110 for my new season because whatever was my main became my brightening, and then I just needed the one other highlight. And so sometimes you just need one, maybe you'll need two, I don't know, but I am here to help you. It's free. That's what I do. So if you need to know your new color match, let me know, okay? But bronzer, it helps you transition until you do need that. And so if you're like, ooh, that's a little light today, add a little bit more bronzer. So bronzer is like the opposite of a contour. Contour is cool, it's ashy, which doesn't mean it's bad, it's just it represents a shadow. Bronzer is the warmth. Hello, sun. It's so good, so good. And it being cream, if you have not used a cream bronzer before, I mean, it's life-changing. So I'm just doing the tops of my forehead, the tops of my cheeks, but I want you to see, I haven't even really blended it out really well. But look at that. I think it's just the prettiest finish. Am I tan? No. Does my bronzer help? Yes. Okay. You could even get a little bit of your nose, right? The top parts, wherever you're kind of tan, bottom of your chin. I could even get my neck. Super important as we start to tan, right? Or not tan, okay? Take the fluffy end, kind of finish that out. But there you go. So bronzer, that's the next step. And I actually like to put the bronzer on before my lip and cheek because I feel sometimes it like muddies the color of your lip and cheek. And who wants like a muted cheek? Not I, okay? Or a muddied cheek, right? You wanna make sure that whatever color you are putting on your face that you could see it. But gosh, look at that, so pretty. Okay, oh my goodness. You wanna see my new lip and cheeks? I got a new artist palette, and I'm starting to really get my stuff together so I could do color matching or in-person parties where I could color match your friends and you. So I kind of started, I got a little bit more lip and cheeks. I mean, I'm missing a lot. But let's see, what do we want today? Where's black cherry? I think I need some black cherry today. It sounds good, right? It's gonna look scary. You ready to see how scary it looks? I'm gonna show you. That's black cherry. It's a gloss. And it looks scary. People are like, you're gonna put that on your cheek? Yes, yes I am. Okay, I'm gonna start off light, just a little bit. Just right there on my cheeks. But I mean, hello, black cherry. Kind of like to bring it up on my temples a little bit. But that, my friends, is black cherry. Kind of matches this fuchsia color really nicely, this purple. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over to fluffy side. Okay. Black cherry. Try it. And I'll put it on my lips in a second once I'm ready. Okay. So that's my face for today. Not bad. Not bad. I've been on here for a long time though. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take my Perfector sponge. I got it wet, and like 5 times I squeezed out all the water, opened it, got it wet, squeezed it out, just so that it could really absorb that water, okay? And when I say I squeezed it all out, not one drop of water is coming out right now. I even take a towel, you can kind of squeeze it again. And I'm just gonna kind of help make sure, see if I have any extra product, right? Because that's one of the problems. If you are seeing it in your lines, you have too much. So this kind of just helps. I'm just softly seeing if I have any extra product. My under eyes, my problem areas. Okay. Now I'm going to set my face. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I love this one. I love it. I have not used Seint's yet. Well, I love this one. This is the first one I've ever bought. And I love the smell. And I love the spray of it. So I just haven't tried Seint's yet. I should, shouldn't I? I mean, I'm selling it. I should, but I love this one so much, and it's been working really well. Here I go. So, oh, the smell is like heavenly. All right, so that is it for my face. I think I'll do an eye tutorial next. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions, if you are intrigued, oh my goodness, I would love to help you. So this is Seint, and all I used was, I have a palette. I used a couple brushes today. Okay, these are my favorite two, the Detail and the B Squared brush. And that was my whole face. If I went on vacation, I would literally bring these two, my setting spray and my mascara, and that's it. That's it. How cool. I would love to help color match you though. Your colors are super important. And I bet if you went and color matched yourself, you'd probably go too light. But going too light creates problems. You won't see the coverage you want. It'll show texture. If you are feeling like it's thick and creamy, you're putting too much on. But I will help you figure out your color match. And then for those of you who I have color matched and it's just not working, reach out. I'm here to help you figure out your colors, and I'm not happy until you're happy. Sephora's not calling you. Ulta's not calling you. I am. All right. Have a great day. Bye.